I'm here to answer the old age question, which is better for the environment, paper bags or plastic bags? Let's take a closer look at both sides. First, we'll look at paper bags. A paper bag's life starts out in the forest, where trees are cut down, then shipped to a factory to sit for around 3 years until they are good and dry so they can be turned into paper. Once ready, the tree's bark is removed and then the tree is cut up into small pieces where they get turned into pulp, with lots of heat and pressure to break down the fibers. Once the tree is in a pulp, thousands of gallons of clean water is put into the pulp. Bleach is added to make the paper whiter. This pollutes the water so it is not reusable until the water is properly cleaned. The paper is then cooled down and rolled out to be sent to other factories where additional pictures and packaging is added. Paper bags are typically thrown away once we are done using them. The bag is put into the landfill where it is packed and covered and then left to decompose. If we go all the way back to the beginning where paper bags start, you can see the problem right away. Thousands of trees are cut down to create paper bags. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, which helps eliminate effects of global warming and keeps our environment healthier. Next, we'll look how paper bags are made. Paper bags use 4 times more energy to be made than plastic bags. Also, paper bags use 20 times more fresh water than plastic bags. Now, after the bag is done being used, it goes into the landfill. 85 to 90% of paper bags do not get recycled. Instead, they are put into the landfill, but due to the way they cover and pack the landfill, that paper will take a long time to decompose. It takes oxygen to create the bacteria that breaks down the paper and other carbon-based material, but all oxygen is blocked off to the compostable waste. The 10 to 15% of paper bags that do get recycled take more energy and more chemicals to break down the paper into pulp. Even if these bags are recycled, paper has only a certain amount of times it can be reused due to the fibers in the paper breaking down until it is simply put into the landfill to be thrown away. One major problem with allowing paper to sit in the landfill is when paper breaks down, it emits methane. And because it is being covered up in the landfill, methane is trapped in the layers, causing a lot of problems with possible explosion from too much trapped methane. Methane contributes to global warming of surprisingly 19%. Carbon dioxide is emitted into the environment by the factories that produce the paper bags. Carbon dioxide contributes to global warming a whopping 64%. If we hadn't cut down the trees to make the paper in the first place, it could have helped absorb and convert some of the carbon dioxide into oxygen, slowing down the effects of global warming. Making a paper bag is a vicious cycle of right and wrong. Now we can look at the life cycle of plastic bags. First, oil needs to be extracted from the ground and then sifted through to get the polyethylene. From the oil refineries, the polyethylene goes to the plastic companies as small little pellets. A giant machine heats the pellets to around 340 degrees. From there, it is stretched into a long tube on a conveyor belt. As it begins to cool down, a hot bar is dropped onto the tube of plastic, crushing the tube into a thin rectangle. Each melting line becomes the bottom of one bag and the top of the next. At the end of the line, the bags are cut into sections and holes are cut and created into the bag's handles. The bags are then shipped off to different companies like Stop & Shop or Walmart, where the logo is printed upon the bag and they are ready to be used. Once used, plastic bags tend to try to be thrown away into landfill. Due to the plastic bags' lightweight, they get blown all around by the wind, getting stuck in the trees and the ponds, polluting the environment around us. So the problem with plastic bags? First off, we use 60 to 100 million barrels of oil to create all the plastic bags. The process of creating the bags is not the problem. It's the emissions the factories put off making the bags. Volatile organic compounds are emitted into the atmosphere, as well as tons of carbon dioxide by the factories. Volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, are toxic to humans, animals, and the environment around us. If you are exposed to a lot of VOCs that could be in the ground or the water from degrading plastics, you could experience eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, loss of coordination, nausea, damage to the liver, kidney, or central nervous system, even cancer. VOCs are not the only problem with plastic bags. Pollution is a huge problem between the streets and forests to the ponds and oceans. Animals' population, such as sea turtles, are decreasing because they mistake the plastic bags as their food, or they might get caught in it and suffocate. Animals are not the only things that are suffocating from the plastic bags. Plastic bags are the second leading cause of suffocation in babies. So, not only are we killing our atmosphere, we are killing animals, the environment, and even our own human population. Plastic bags have an infinite life cycle. Unlike paper, it does not decompose. The particles simply get smaller and smaller, which can get into our waterways and eventually kill us. We use so many plastic bags, we could go around the earth 64 times. That's over 4 million plastic bags. So why exactly do we use plastic bags in the first place? So why paper bags or plastic bags? Paper takes over 3 years to make, but trees can be replanted. Plastic might only take a few days to make, but it takes thousands of years for oil to be created in the earth. Paper takes up more space and costs more money to make than plastic does. Paper affects our atmosphere, while plastic affects everything: people, animals, the environment, and the atmosphere. Plastic can continue to be recycled, but isn't always turned back into plastic bags. Paper can only be recycled a few times before it needs to be thrown away because of its fibers. So what would you choose? I know what I would pick. My choice would be neither, but I'd rather pick a tote bag. They are reusable and efficient. The emissions that come from the factories would be considerably less due to the fact that you would not need to make as many, because the bags can be reused many times. They do not break as easily as plastic bags or paper bags, and you can hold more objects in them without them breaking. Because they are made from different material than plastic or paper, they would not need to be thrown out and would not pollute the earth like the other bags do. I think instead of being asked if you want a plastic bag or a paper bag, you should be asked if you want to buy your own tote bags or if you have your own bags. The amount of money people would save if they use their own bags is astonishing. Gas prices would decrease because they use less oil for plastic. Food prices would decrease because the stores would not have to buy as many plastic bags, and the environment would be healthier. And in the long run, tote bags are way better for the environment than paper or plastic. Some stores are already changing their ways and decreasing their impact on the environment. You should follow in their footsteps and decrease your impact as well, so we can have a happier and healthier environment.